So we love it. Writers Without Borders, to tell you a little bit about it, is a project that allows the Writers' House to think pretty expansively about who should be represented at the Writers' House, what kind of writers we want to bring. And this project allows us to think globally and to invite writers from all over the world. We have a Chinese poet coming in February. We have a New Zealander coming in April. Later this month, we have a Lebanese novelist who lives in London. So we've got a whole range. If you'd like to find out about these readings, I hope you'll sign our guest book, and we'll make sure to tell you about people who are coming. We are delighted to have Bina Sharif here. This has been a production. We've had many people involved in thinking about what she could do, and she's been talking to students all over campus. She led a fantastic workshop last night, Were any of you at the workshop, by the way? I thought there was one. Basically, in 2 hours, she helped every student there write a one-page play, and she's offered to help them produce it. So it's a very exciting project. She's a fantastic teacher, a fantastic writer, a fantastic performer, and we're just delighted to have her here. Mira Moore Lafferty, who is handing out some papers, is going to do a more official introduction. And I'd just like to say that she's been instrumental in putting this reading together. So I'd like you to join me in thanking her and welcoming her to the Writers' House. Here's Mira.
Thank you, Jessica. We have so many wonderful thank yous, not just to the Kelly Writers' House and the Provost Writers Without Borders program, but also to the Provost, to the Dean of Chaz, the college houses, to the Dean of the Roden House, to the Director of the Critical Writing Program, and all of the staff of the Critical Writing Program, the Middle East Center, and many, many other groups and individuals too numerous to mention, particularly the Global English faculty members, myself, Dr. Fayaz Villani, and Dr. John Heon. We're so happy to have all of you here today to see this amazing performance. You really will enjoy it a lot. Bina is a show not to be missed, and she has performed her own works as well as acted in the plays of others and films for many years, for over 25 years. She, as you probably know already, is an immigrant from Pakistan and is an American citizen. She is amazingly versatile. She works with visual art and performance art, as well as directing and playwriting and performing her own works, her one-woman shows. I wanted to just mention something that some of you may not know, is that she actually is an MD. She was university trained to become a physician, and she gave it all up to be a writer. And how appropriate that we're here in the Writers' House to see such an amazing person. She has had several of her works anthologized, and she plans to bring out a 2-volume collection of her plays in the next year. So without further ado, I'd like to thank all of you for coming and welcome Ms. Bina Sharif.
Every time you can't answer, you call for Jesus. I thought you were a Muslim. If you are a Muslim and you call for Jesus, he is not going to show up. And knowing your Prophet Muhammad's pride, he is never showing up uninvited. So I think that's why your life is the way it is. You have confused all gods, and they do not know what is it that you want. When I first met you, You had clarity, such clarity, clarity of purpose. You were not sitting in a fabulous house full of antiques, giving some old rich man blowjobs. You were such a proud woman, such class and dignity. Struggle and survive, you said. Struggle and survive with pride. Oh, I used to look in anticipation to have that cup of tea with you once a week. You were such a woman with such confidence and such courage. You know? Yes, I had a lot in my life. That old fellow of mine, he had a lot of money. He gave me a lot of money. But you know, he was busy making more money. So I was very lonely. We're very lonely people, the rich people. And you know, since my life with him, the old fellow, really old. He was older than my father. It could be grandfather, actually, you know. But he gave me a decent life. I never had a decent life, so I welcomed the chance of a decent life. I did not need money. I also did not have any skills to make money, but I had a decent life. And you know, as far as blowjobs are concerned, they were so fashionable. So fashionable. And I said to myself, if I was married to a son of a bitch, you know, I would still have to give him blowjobs. Because I wanted to be fashionable no matter what. I wanted to always be so fashionable, just like my mother. You know, when my mother left us kids in that orphanage for her career in show business in New York City, the moment she left, she thought she was very fashionable. And I also thought she was very fashionable. She never took care of the house, but she was very much into fashion. And I wanted to be like my mother. And I always looked for my mother. Every time I saw a fashionable woman, I would just come close to her and walk behind her in case she was my mother. And she would recognize me and hug me and kiss me. But they would all walk away from me fast, totally fast. I guess I scared everybody away. And then I realized all these fashionable women walking on the Fifth Avenue of New York City, none of them is my mother, because my mother must be one of those fashionable women who ride around in chauffeur-driven limousines, watching color TV, drinking champagne, and giving some old guys blowjobs. So I said to myself, for me to find my mother, I have to be in that society. That's when I met that old fellow of mine in Plaza Hotel, where I used to check his hat and coat. Oh, what a pretty girl like you is doing checking my hat and coat, he said to me one day. And I said, what a pretty girl like me should do. And he said, you can check my health. And I said, what's wrong with your health? He says, nothing is wrong. I just need some new energy, you know, new blood. He wanted me to transform my youthful energy to him. And I said, how would I do that? Because, you know, I do not have a master's degree from Harvard in rejuvenationally oriented course to give you my energy. And he says, I like your sense of humor. A pretty girl like you do not need a degree from Harvard. You can make me happy without a degree from Ivy League. And I became very confused because I used to think that the rich people are rich because they have a degree. And they only want to be with people who also have degrees from Yale and Harvard and all those places. But I didn't want to question him because I was so thrilled that me, not having any school education, no nothing, and he wants to be with me. And I was so tired of hanging that coats and checking the hats and, and filling those little forms for the fur coats. Nobody in Plaza Hotel ever wore anything except a fur coat. Even if it was month of August, they wore fur coats, real furs, long. And I had to hang them, and my arms were killing me. And I said, okay, at least that will be a relief. I would not have to hang rich people's fur coats in the month of July and August. So one night, when he came in, he gave me his address card and $100 bill. And he said, come to my house tonight. Take a cab and come to my house tonight. I said, a cab? Did I hear the word cab? Don't you have a limousine? He said, I have a limousine, but you can never be seen in it. So I said to myself, he must have his own reasons why I cannot be seen in it, but he has a limousine. I will be able to meet my mother through him and his limousine, because all those women, drinking champagne in those limousines, I will be able to meet my mother. So that night after my work, I took a cab and I went to his house. Oh my God, what a house he had on Park Avenue. He has incredible wooden furniture, like walnuts and oaks, antiques, and chandeliers, crystal, and so many Persian rugs, so many. I thought he was the cousin of ex-Shah of Iran. And the paintings, oh my God, so many paintings. Picasso, Matisse, Chagall, Renoir, Gorky, Edvard Munch. It definitely did not look like my parents' house. And I realized why my mother left my father. So I said to him, here I am. How can I rejuvenate you? And he said, honey, we must have some champagne first, because all rich people have champagne first. So I drank a lot of champagne that night, lots of champagne. And then I was ready to do anything he wanted me to do, but he only wanted a blowjob. That wasn't very difficult. And then he said, you can stay here as long as you want, as long as I need to be rejuvenated. But you can never be seen with me outside, but you can stay here as long as you want. And I said, okay. So I stayed there. I stayed there for a long time and watched TV and did my nails. I lost touch with the outside world. I almost forgot my existence. And then one day you walked in to clean his house. And you had such class and such confidence. I knew you were a foreigner. And I knew you were smart, because otherwise why would you leave your country to come do the cleaning on Park Avenue? And I said to you one day, sweetheart, why do you do the cleaning? Why don't you give blowjobs so you can live comfortably? And you said, no. I don't give blowjobs. I have a degree. And I'm also a Muslim. And I have a degree. And I said, you have a degree? Oh my God, you have a degree? You're going to be very rich in America. And you said, not yet. Maybe one day. I said, why not? Why not? You have a degree. Oh, my degree is from foreign country and I have to pass many more exams, you said. And you said the exams are very hard. And I said, if I had a degree, I would take all the goddamn exams. I mean, come on, honey. Take the exams and pass them. And get rich. You cleaning all day. My God. Huh? And you said, no, I can't. I said, why not? She says, it's hard work. It's hard work, I said. But you used to hard work. You do the cleaning. What's harder than the cleaning? Scrubbing the floors in my bathtub, And you said, no, after cleaning, I cannot do anything harder because my back hurts. And then you would sit down and I'll make you a cup of tea. I looked forward to that cup of tea for the week, always. You would not drink champagne. And I understood it's all right because your work did not require champagne. Oh, you were such a breath of fresh air in my life. Clean, crisp. And just the idea of freedom. I had all the freedom in my country. I never left my country. I never saw any other countries. But I knew other countries never had freedom. So we give freedom to the foreigners. And foreigners can help us breathe. Because it's more crisp air they bring. And I could not breathe. So we made this arrangement that we will give you freedom, the cleaning lady, and you help me breathe. So one day you said, I will not be coming in again because I have to sit down and take my exams. And I said, no, this cannot happen. This cannot happen. If you're not coming, I am leaving. I'm going with you. I want to live with you in your apartment. And you laughed so hard. You said, I live in the gutter, like in the East Village with rats. And their windows on my apartment are kind of broken, broken. And I said, great, I need fresh air. And I left the old man's house. Yes, I left him a note and thanked him for keeping me warm and indoors and providing me with beautiful makeup and clothes and all that stuff. But it was time for fresh air. And I came to your apartment. And you took your exams, and you took your exams, and you took your exams. I guess you never passed them. And then you shut yourself in your room and started to watch TV like I did in the old man's house. I did not want your life to be like mine. So I said to you, fuck the fucking exams. You have the personality of a winner. You should be in show business. I will manage your career. You can never fail in that career. And that is the only career which is manageable without a degree. I'll manage your career. I don't have the degree. You can simply not fail in show business. And you said yes, instantly. And look at us. We haven't done badly, have we? Because show business is one of the biggest blowjob of them all. I live right here in my own country. My existence begins in the morning and it ends at night. Every day the same thing happens. I work so hard to keep my life going. I want my children to have what we never had. And I have 3 daughters in this rigid, militant Muslim society. Very soon I'll have to worry about their jahez, their trousseau. A Pakistani woman, if she does not bring the trousseau, cars, Frigidaire, TV sets, cutlery, quilts, jodas, gota, sona, gold, silver. No man or no man's mother would like her as a young bride, no matter how young, no matter how beautiful, no matter how smart, no matter how educated. The society has not changed. Men, they think they have become modern, but only for themselves, not for us. So I have to work very hard. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I make bed tea for my husband, give him tea, put the beds in order, put the house in order, make breakfast, get the girls ready for school, get the little baby girl ready for the nursery school. I drive them to their schools. Then I work all day in the office with my boss, my bosses. They call us slaves, educated slaves. That's a new word in our country now, educated slaves. I work all day. Then I finish the work, then pick up my children, go home, cook, serve dinner, clean. By 6 o'clock, I feel like, where is my life going? When I'm doing the dishes and finishing up, I look at the clock, it's 9 o'clock. By 9 o'clock, I'm so exhausted. I go to bed. I'm an intelligent woman. I'm a highly educated woman. I'm a smart person. How come I don't have a life? Bindia, I have not seen a movie in years. I have no social life. And my husband, you know, he sits in his fantastic white starch clothes with his hook right in and read all the newspapers. He thinks he is the last intellectual left in the world. And then he complains. He says, you know, my shirt was not ironed right. And one of the buttons on my shirt was missing. And I felt so embarrassed in the office. Other men's wives, they iron their shirts properly. And their buttons are never missing. You know, he forgets that I bring 10,000 rupees every month, more than he makes. Forgets that. But he never forgets the missing button on his shirt. But I still cannot divorce him, because a single woman and a divorced woman does not have any place in this society. Maybe in 25 more years it will happen, but not now. Oh, Bindi, I'm so lonely. I have nobody to communicate with. Sometimes I wish somebody would just hold me tight and say, Runa, don't be afraid. Imagine that I have to find husbands for my daughters. If they find husbands for themselves, like Didi did, we the parents will never forgive them. Even if I am liberated, even if I think I'm educated, even if I forgive them, the society will never forgive them. And And God forbid, if they find wrong husbands, then they'll perish away like our innocent, beautiful sister Didi. India, I know, it's hard for you in America. It must be hard, but it's much harder here. I do not encourage you to come back. At least the people in America must be so understanding and sophisticated and intelligent and give you the choices to do what you want. You must be able to do anything you want in America. You can be anyone you want to be in America. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the La Biza Club. I know you, my fans, and you are very surprised to not see me in my usual sequin, silky, skimpy, chiffon, fabulous mini dress. You are surprised, why am I covered up in these like horrible things? Okay. I will explain. I am covered up in these things because I'm very cold. Okay. It's summertime, but I'm very cold. I will explain. You see, one day, when I was coming home to my apartment in the East Village, and I was near Tompkins Square Park, I felt the urge to pee. And I thought, it's just an ordinary urge. You know, it will go away. Like many other urges come, and then they go away. And you forget them. Like success, and money, and fame, and nice apartment, and heat, and hot water. Urges come, urges go. Huh? I thought this will go away. It'll go away. But to my surprise, this urge was very urgent and needed attention. So I started to walk faster. I almost had my hand in between my legs. God, I have to pee right here in the fucking street, man. What's going on? I'm running. By the time I reach Avenue C, yes, you guessed it, that's where I live. Huh? By the time I reached there, I realized that my beautiful white pants were not white anymore. There was like a lot of gooey stuff coming out of my very own piss. It was colorful though. It was burgundy and blue and orange and red in patches. So my white pants had all those colorful patterns on my pants. And I said, you have to trust your piss. It's your own piss. It's coming out of your body, making all these colorful patterns on your white pants. You know, white pants. So much stuff on. I ran. I opened the door of my apartment, and my little son, DiMaggio, is the first one to see me. And he became hysterical, started shouting, my chemical mommy, my chemical mommy, my chemical mommy. I said, shut up. What is this chemical, mommy? Where did you learn this word chemical? Chemical, the word chemical is very chemical. It's the most dangerous. Who told you this word chemical? And he said, mommy, 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 please don't scream at me. Please don't. My teacher in school, when the Persian Gulf War happened, she showed us some pictures in the classroom. And she showed us, she says, when the bombs come and then they explode. And then then they explode, then they're very colorful clouds come. They become orange and green and purple and blue. So when I saw you, I thought you have some chemicals inside of you and it's going to just explode like the bomb. And I said, no, don't ever talk like that. And I said, my God, shame on the education system. Shame, 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 shame. They are teaching these children of such tender age about chemical stuff. Why don't they just keep their bombs and their political stuff on their own lawns? Shame on the education system, I said, and I went to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom. Incredible stuff was coming out of my body. When I looked at that, I started to throw up. When I threw up, it was more colorful stuff coming. I have never seen colors like that, and I'm a colorful person. I like colors, Even in New York, I like color, though I wear black all the time. But once in a while, I show them my colors, but not out of my piss. So I said, I have to go to the doctor. Some green-eyed monster has taken over my body, and something is really, really happening, and it's really, really terrible. So I took my little baby to my mother, who's very sick also, on Avenue D. And I left the baby there, and I went to Nina Clinic on 2nd Street and Avenue C. I will not tell you how many hours it took me to be seen, because that'll be another performance piece, very lengthy one, So finally, when the registered nurse saw me, she said, what did you eat yesterday? When she saw all the colors. I said, what do you mean, what did I eat yesterday? She said, yeah, what did you eat? I said, I ate an orange. And she said, what color was it? I said, my God, what kind of question is this? An orange is an orange color. That's why it's called an orange, isn't it? She said, not true. Some oranges, which are very healthy, are green. And they're only available in Dean and DeLuca. And I said, what country is that? And she looked at me as if I was stupid or something. So I said, are you going to take care of me? What is happening to me? So she says, tell me, where do you buy your grocery from? And I said, where am I going to buy my grocery from? Everybody who lives on Avenue C, on the corner of whatever, 3rd Street and Avenue C, is a grocery shop and bodega, and that's where we go buy the food, She says, what do you buy? Potatoes, tomatoes, an eggplant, milk, or whatever. And she says, the tomatoes you buy from the grocery store on Avenue C, they have a chemical in it, which causes, it makes them look brighter and bigger and redder, and it causes cancer of the pancreas. And the potatoes which you buy from the grocery store on Avenue C, they have a chemical in it, which makes them bigger and browner. And that causes cancer of the kidney stone. The kidney stones come, and then the cancer comes. And then she says, the milk which you buy from the grocery store, they put chemical in it, like preservatives. They're like the chemicals, And they make the milk look whiter, thicker. And that causes cancer of the bones. I said, my God, cancer of the bones? My God, please, my DiMaggio, I've been shoving tons of milk in his body to make his bones strong. I said, God, please, 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 please let my DiMaggio live. I will never feed him anything in his whole life. So I said, are you going to do something for my health? I've been sitting here for so long. She said, don't be hysterical. We'll throw you out. This is a hospital, miss. Don't be hysterical. Since you came in, you've been hysterical. I said, I didn't even fucking open my mouth. She said, we'll get you out, you know. I said, okay, so what is happening to me? She said, listen, the food you've been eating, you like very colorful food. The food you've been eating has given you some infections, few infections. I said, like what? Pancreas infection, liver infection, kidney infection, lung infection, a cyst in your uterus. The cyst will need surgery. And sometimes surgeons remove the uterus by mistake. And doesn't matter because you will end up with one less organ in your body. And then, you know, we will give you some chemicals as an antidote for the existing chemicals, and those chemicals will cause more reactions in your body. And one of the reaction is that your body temperature drops. You lose all your body heat, you know? Then you'll have to wear lots of clothes at all times, scarves and coats and jackets and everything. And I said, my God, how long this treatment will take? She said, this treatment's for 3 years. But you know, you usually get pneumonia and you die, so no patient has ever lived. Nobody has ever lived past 1 year. So don't, you know, your body temperature is going to drop so bad that you're going to be just dying. So I said, my God, give me something to just like, you know, help me out. She said, okay, I'm going to give you some drink. You will drink this, and then this is the beginning of the treatment. So I drink this. I shivered so much right away. After I finished the drink, I shivered so much. My body temperature dropping. I ran to my house and I said, oh, my poor Dimaji, oh my God, I should have never had a child. My performance artist friends told me never to have a child in the East Village, you know. And now I have chemicals, and he has chemicals in his body. And I said, oh my God, I had a child because before I had a child, I thought things were improving in the East Village. They were cleaning up Tompkins Square Park. Because one day I asked the police, I said, what happened to the rats in Tompkins Square Park? And they said, we gave them some chemical and we chased them away. They all became blind. They ran towards the church on 9th Street and Avenue C. And I said, my God, that's where I go for my salvation. I will never take my little DiMaggio there again because my DiMaggio is too young to commit sins. I'm the one with sins, but I would rather go to hell than be bitten by the poisonous rats chased by police from Tompkins Square Park. Thinking all these thoughts, I ran back home, shivering, and I wore everything possible in my house, sweaters and coats, and then I ran to my mother's house to pick up DiMaggio. When I opened my door, my mother's apartment, I turned the key in. DiMaggio, poor DiMaggio was throwing up. And all the purple and green and all that blue and burgundy stuff was coming out of his mouth. I was screaming hysterically, my baby, my poor DiMaggio, my poor baby, my poor baby, my poor. He said, Mommy, don't cry, Mommy, don't cry. Now my chemical mommy has a chemical baby. Thank you. Bush must be really upset tonight. Finally, he's going to leave the White House. Yeah, really, huh? Okay. Because I'm a self-proclaimed genius, and I write all day long. So, you know, and then like something becomes something and something doesn't become something, then I put myself down for writing all day long because it didn't become something or whatever. So my house is full of papers. People who came to the workshop, they know that I write longhand. There was a lady, she had a laptop, and I said, well, you know, you can write on the laptop, but my idea of the workshop was different, you know. But she was so nice that she accommodated my idea. She didn't write on the laptop. She wrote on there. And I was so nervous. I said, is she hating me? Is she hating me? Is she hating me? And then I said, I asked her, what part was more hard for you to write? She said, the second part. I said, did I throw you off by you not using your laptop? She said, no. So that was nice. So, why am I saying this? Because I have so much writing, I don't know what to read. Because I'm a genius. So and then when I read something, and then people don't like, then I say, oh, I should not have read that. The other piece was bad. I should have read that, you know. And then, but what are you going to do, huh? We'll read something, right? Are you in the mood?
Yeah.
I'm also writing a play, which is going to be opening on December 18th. I should have finished it, right? Don't you think? It's called Here Comes the Change. And it's all about, it's a political satire about Obama and McCain and Sarah Palin. I was watching Tina Fey, and I'm not so good as Tina Fey because I can never play Sarah Palin. I'll hire somebody. So I started writing. I said, oh wow, we have to do political satire. Opens December 18th, runs till January 4th. I want all of you to come to New York to see the play. Please. Okay. So this is something called Diary of a Thought. There's like two people. Sometimes it's monologue, sometimes it's a little play. I don't know what it is, but you know, there are two people. I play both of them. Since I'm such a genius, I'll play everything. On Wednesday, I'll think of nothing sad. On Wednesday, I won't think of the past. On Wednesday, I won't miss my mother. On Wednesday, I won't think of my father. On Wednesday, I won't think of my sister. On Wednesday, I won't think of me, the other character. But that's not so unusual. You never think of yourself. You never think of yourself on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday or Saturday or Sunday or Monday or Tuesday. And on Wednesday, no one else thinks of me. But on Wednesday, I will think of nothing sad. On Thursday, I'll wash the clothes for the character. Oh, why on Thursday? That's the day I assign for laundry. Oh, you assign days for different chores? Yes, I do. Then do you accomplish them always? No, not always. Some days you don't do laundry on Thursday then? Yes, that's correct. And when is it done? The laundry, I mean? Whenever I run short of clean underwears. Then why do you think of sadness regularly every Wednesday? While you do not achieve what you said you will achieve on Thursday, like the laundry. Why must you always think of sadness on Wednesday? Leave me alone. I already said that. I will say it again. I already said that. On Wednesday, I'll think of nothing sad. And Thursday? Oh, Thursday I'll do the laundry. And on Friday? I haven't thought of Friday yet. Perhaps I will go to the movies on Friday. Perhaps. Yes, perhaps. Not sure of Friday yet? No, not sure. Not sure yet. What's the assignment for Friday? Not sure yet. I'm not sure yet, but Friday is upon you. Oh, Friday is only tomorrow. You're not sure of tomorrow yet? And Saturday? Oh, Saturday is so far away. Friday hasn't arrived yet. Saturday is so far away. I can't think of Saturday. And Sunday is too far away. Haven't thought of tomorrow yet. How can I think of Sunday? But you said you will go to the movies tomorrow. I said, perhaps. So you thought of tomorrow then. I said, perhaps I'll go to the movies on Friday. Yes, that's what I said. Or you can think of Saturday for some same reason. How? You can perhaps clean your apartment on Saturday. Oh no, 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 no. We don't clean the flat on Saturday. No. And I don't live in a flat. I live in an apartment. Did you say flat? No, I said an apartment. I think you meant flat because you are from England. Flats are in England. This is an apartment, a dark apartment. On Saturday we don't clean the flat, and we do not live in London. On Saturday in London we go to the West End. Or you can go to the theater here in New York. The West End. There's no West End in New York. No, there is. There's West End after Broadway. Before Riverside Drive, there's West End. Oh, I meant the theater district in London. The theater district. But people who live in New York, they go to Broadway. No, 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 no. People who live in New York, they don't go to Broadway. So who goes to Broadway? The tourists. Tourists go to Broadway. New Yorkers cannot afford the price. So what do the New Yorkers do on Saturday? They sit on the park bench and smell dog shit in the park. Oh, that is sad. Yeah. On Saturday I will not think of anything sad. So what will you think on Saturday? I'll think of separation of love on Saturday. And on Sunday? On Sunday, I'll take a break from me. And on Monday I'll come back to my thought. What thought would you have on Monday? I don't know. Monday is not upon me yet. Today is only Thursday. What will you do on Monday when it comes? I don't know yet. And Tuesday? Oh, still further away from Monday. And Wednesday? I won't think of anything sad on Wednesday. Thank you. I want to read you something. Where is it? Something says life not chosen. I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to read it, Fayaz. No? Oh, okay. Let's see. I hope this is funny. Okay, it's not funny. Since there are lots of foreigners here, Americans, foreigners. In the name of confusion of the East and the West, two different circumstances, two different sense, coming from the East, ending up in the West, living in the West. Yes, living in the West. You think that's easy? Coming from the East. Yes, coming from the East. You think that is easy. It's two different planets, two different worlds, two different religions, different cultures, two different languages. It's a different spice, different sexualities, two different feminisms, different desires, different freedoms, two different sacrifices, different martyrdoms, two different roads, different habits, different sensitivities, two different lovers, different entertainments, two different weathers, different histories, two different slaveries, all two different efforts, different rewards, different loneliness, two different parents, different brothers, different sisters, different weddings, different actors, different plays, different reviews, different books, different memoirs, two different decades, many different centuries, two different gods, different regrets, two different wastelands, two different Disneylands, all two different movies, different faces, different stories, different searches, different motives, two different goals, different confusions, different mothers, different fathers, different museums, different deserts, different musicals, two different tragedies. Honey, you have done very well. You have embraced two chaos. You have embraced two tragedies. You are stronger than the East. You're stronger than the West. You have embraced two civilizations. You have embraced two modernities. You have embraced ancient civility. You have embraced two deaths. You have embraced two different tragedies. Under your circumstances, you have done fabulously well. Thank you so very much for your attendance. I know it's a very historical night. We are all very historical.